Dear Heavenly Father, help us to make the right business for the people of Coleman County, and a special prayer for Carolyn Brumman that she heal up and rejoin us as soon as possible. Amen.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Yax.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Brumman, excuse, Brady,
Here.
Small.
Here. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 18th, 2024 meeting. Second. Moved and seconded. Any comments, questions, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Start public comment, 3 minutes per person, identify yourself and your township. Everybody, all right, moving on. Presentations, there aren't any. Right? Another business, thank you. No unfinished business, this is going too fast. Hold down a little. Let's start talking slower.
Yes.
Let's do the claims.
I'd like to make a motion to approve pre-authorized claims and open claims presented for payments between September 18th of 24 and October 2nd of 24. For check numbers 155-497 to 155-631 and e-checks 2456 to 2467. For a grand total of $2 million, $426,820.41.
Moved and supported. Any questions, comments, or concerns? Roll call, please.
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Yax.
Yes.
Next up, foreclosing governmental unit report of real property foreclosure sales.
We were all forwarded the submission at the end of September and had a chance to review. Is there any questions? Was supported as a yearly of 342.8.
No questions for me? Anybody else?
So this means there were $24,000 that people requested back, is that what it means? And
That's the total of the taxes, the penalties, the costs on the foreclosed properties that were not that were foreclosed and not redeemed, that were sold.
so there's the net amount, 271. That's what we keep.
191.08, yes.
Okay. And that's ours now, there's no more claims that can be made on that or nothing?
There is claims that can be made.
Oh,
It
okay.
hasn't been settled. It's not confirmed that there cannot be claims made in that. It would be a civil suit with the courts.
That's all part of this whole suit thing, but not the new rules or where they can,
No, they're still open.
Ongoing.
It's still open-ended
okay.
for the potential to have that happen in a civil action suit.
Did we don't have as many now, right? Cause everybody can get it if they want it.
As many what?
People who, as much exposure to it, so now this year. If you wanna get the money, if you want your equity, just file a claim against it. And you can get it, is that,
If you follow the procedure, yes, you automatically will be sent to you once if you follow the proper procedure. But there is also an open end in the law that opens it up for civil suits after the
even
fact.
for those, if,
Yes.
once they've done it, they still have an opportunity to do more? Okay, I thought maybe those were, if you go that route, then you're good.
As an individual, that is all they can collect. But if someone pops up later, they have the right to file a suit.
Okay, do we need to vote to approve this or accept it or?
Yes, just I don't think it needs to be a roll call, just that you
Okay,
have
Okay.
received any.
any other questions for sure? Then, I'll make a motion to approve the report as submitted for submission to the state of Michigan. Support. Moved and supported. Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, recycle Oconee County, operation cleanup, contact Oconee fair bylaws. I assume, Bill,
Yep.
give us all we need to know about this.
Well, we'll do the, hopefully the easiest one is, we changed the bylaws, or we've added a mission statement, which is like three lines, just indicating that we were an entity of the county. And we're all volunteers, and so when we do those things, the state requires us to have you sign it, and then we have to send it back to the states. And every year we have to do, make sure that everything's updated. And so we're here asking for a signature on that, so we can send it to back to where it comes from.
So nothing else has changed.
No.
Bylaw.
That might be a word, you know, to make it sound better, but the only thing we really added was the top two sentences. There was a few members that thought we should have a mission statement, and I was trying to figure out how deep do we want to go for a mission. I've seen some mission statements that are a page and a half, and so we basically decided to let people know that it's a volunteer organization, but there's no payment for what we do, and that we are part of the county.
Very well, I'll make a motion to approve and sign the addendum to the Oconee County Fair bylaws. Support. Who supported? Any more questions, comments, concerns about this? All right, we'll do a roll call.
Yax,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes. And then the other one is, it's time again for the every 2 years. We work together on a county cleanup. Drop off day. And it's the same agreement we've done 2 years ago, it's a change basically. So that Recycle Inc. can perform the duties, on that day. We set everything else up and, take care of business, and then again, we use Carol's and the treasurers, and the funds go in, and bills come here and get processed in and out, and the service fee is what we get, what the organization gets is the $1,500, which is in the budget. There's $750 every year that you guys move around, so that it's available when we do it. It's not a big issue, but I need to start now to try to get grants for the tires. As I said before, Eagle hasn't posted anything for 25 yet on the tires. But when they do, you have a short window, so if we can, we still take the tires even if we don't get the grant, but it cuts the cost down for us at the other end. We've lost Viking, they used to have a front end loader they brought to us, so we're down to Lincoln offers theirs, and Jesse's been kind enough to offer the road commissions. So, Dave James works with me, and he has a pretty connection with, the different excavators and so forth, and we'll get another front end loader. The people we're gonna deal with will be Waste Management, Smiths, Sanitation, and Travis. We'll have 4 stations. 2 will be Travis's because he can go to his area much quicker than the other 2. They gotta go, one goes to Tawas, and I'm not sure what the stage is, to empty if they need to. So they can go there and come back quicker, and so we'll have 4 stations, and we usually get 5 empty metal tubs for metal. And I work a deal with Calvin that if we don't use a tub, I pay for a rental. If we put metal in it, it's his, he takes, it doesn't charge us anything. I usually work with Brad Cole, I haven't talked to him yet, but in the past, he has traded Freon removal for the cost for some of the white products. He takes the wash machines and the freezers and he scraps those out. in lieu of charging us for, freon removal. And if you happen to see Greenbush that they do every year, their Greenbush removal of freon at Travis's is $45 a unit. So, he's doing us a big favor. So I do a lot of trading, little this, little that, so we do. The idea is to break even. We're not after making a whole lot of money, but we want to cover all the bills for advertising and because we do pay for the compacted products to be taken away. And that would be all your trash and stuff. So, and we charge by the load as it comes in. The cheapest is like $5 for a car. If that's all you got, goes up to a pickup load with a 12-foot trailer or a 16-foot trailer full, and I think it's $75 now. And most places will charge you by the cubic yard, and we don't. So we try to make it easy for the residents. It's my volunteer base that I have to keep really looking for because that's a long day. So anyway, that's why I'm here early this year, is to try to get it signed so I can start moving forward.
Same contractor, one is.
It's wording's the same, I just printed it up and changed the dates on it, but if you wanna take it, until next meeting, that's fine too.
Oh, well, Colonel did express interest in weighing in this.
Mhm.
We're needing, so if it's already due, maybe we would take.
That's fine, and I know there's a paragraph in there that says that the payment is due on signing. We've always in the past just sort of slid it back and it's closer to the end of the thing so we can see how well it works. But yeah, I know she's emailed me back with her concerns, so.
Yeah.
That's no problem. Go away.
Okay.
You're sending out the request to townships too again, right?
If this goes through, yes, I have a form letter that I, again, changed a few words on it and send it out to all the clerks or supervisors. We request, I think it was $1,000 that if they wanted to participate. And we've been normally getting out of the 11, we get like 6,000. Understandable, Greenbush puts their own on and a few out in Curtis, they don't participate much. So, yeah, we've been getting about $6,000 from the different townships that are right close to the area. And that sort of gives the seed, the funds, and then the remainder of money comes off the gate when it comes in.
Yeah, we'll let Carolyn have her piece on this and then,
Okay,
thanks, Bill.
good, thank you.
Next up, Chris Martin, Executive Director, Develop IOSCO, and Doug Cheek, EDC, Rural Readiness Fund. Gentlemen.
Hello, my name is Christopher Martin. I'm the executive director for Develop IOSCO. I have here for you guys just to kind of explain who we are, why we're here. Doug, I believe, give you the letter of interest for the rural readiness grant. Previously, I did make a couple corrections to it. The one that was submitted previously is a little bit different on this one, but a little bit about me before I dive into what Develop IOSCO is. I've lived in Alcona County. I moved here in 1999 and I moved away in about 2011 when I met my wife after I returned from service in the Army. We actually relocated down to the Dallas area after a few moves. So I'm actually from this area. I mean, I'm very aware of what is Alcona, so it's not just somebody from nowhere coming in here telling you what, an idea is, but, so that's just a little bit about me. And then Develop IOSCO is a 501c3 nonprofit. We're not associated with Iosco County. That's the Economic Development Commission. The Economic Development Commission, they basically do the revolving loan fund that was granted to them after the decommissioning of the base. Alcona County is included in that revolving fund, and they can, so we share that responsibility because it was on the base after the decommissioning. It affected both of our counties quite a bit. Part of that is the reason why we're reaching out to Alcona. The Rural Readiness Grant, there is some statistics from our last grant from what we've done. So we've been doing this grant, the second round since December of 23 when we started. So it's a $50,000 grant. From that $50,000 grant, we've been able to submit $7,245,000 worth of grants from everything from $500 to $2.5 million. So, and then from those, we've been able to receive back $1.422 million just since December. So what this has done for us, and it's the Office of Rural Prosperity has actually set us as we're the example of what, you know, to take a $50,000 investment that we're not even all the way through and turn it into $1 million. I mean, it's been very, you know, very, very successful. The state of Michigan has taken notice to that, and then to be able to qualify for round 3 grant funding, we'd like to keep the model the same. One of the requirements was either A, show how it would be different within the same boundaries, or expand our boundaries, being that Alcona and Iosco are tied through the EDC and decommissioning of the base. It made sense to us to develop Iosco to expand our territory to include Alcona County. You know, that this grant, what it does is, if upon acceptance, we want, I know Carolyn isn't here, I serve with her on the Huron Shores Regional Utility Authority as well. I'm actually the chair of that authority, and it's unfortunate that she can't be here, because if we are to move forward with this, we want 100% support from all the commissioners. If one commissioner says no, then we won't do it, because we're not gonna go through what happened with Target Alpena and Iosco County. So when they came in with the small business grant, it was very confusing for the businesses. We were, you know, it wasn't a lot of communication in the forefront. So if we don't have full support of this board and the Economic Development Committee, we won't move forward. And it's unfortunate Carolyn couldn't be here. I don't know what her viewpoints are on this, or if she's shared anything with this board, but it would be it's very important to us that everybody's on board and they see it. We don't expect anything from the county. The grant writing workshops are free of charge to anybody that would like to come and attend. And our first model, we did 4 that were open to the public, 4 of them. We had served over almost nearly 100 people in those trainings, plus we put it online to YouTube so that people can watch and get that education. We'll be holding 2 more specific to municipalities and, you know, firefighters and police, local, you know, whatever, townships, local government. So we would really hone those last 2 in just for local government, so that they can unlock those different grant fundings and avenues of revenue. So that's where, you know, those will happen. And then if degree MLAC, our last grant writing, we offer 20 hours per member. So if you're a member, whether you're a business, nonprofit, local government entity, we would give you up to 20 hours of grant writing assistance. That can be grant research, reviewing your grant documents. Dr. Kress has been doing this for over 30 years. She's originally she did a lot of work in the Lansing area, and she relocated and looking to retire in Iosco County. And she's given us, you know, the ability to use her services to do this. Outstanding woman, incredibly intelligent, and she's done a lot of, you know, great things for Iosco County. And we would really like to bring that same energy up here to Alcona County, because we're sister counties. There's a lot of similarities between what we face in Iosco that Alcona faces when it comes to tourism and housing and work staff, you know, employment, staffing issues. We see it too. So this is what we've learned over our first grant cycle, is that we have a lot of nonprofits in our area that need a lot of help. We have a very low barrier to get a nonprofit as a member. It's $100. You get 20 hours of grant writing assistance that normally that would be $60 an hour. So it's an incredible savings for nonprofits. So being able to empower them and really give them the education it's a huge piece of, you know, building our communities. And when economic development gets a bad rap, right away everyone's like, well, how many, you know, what big box store are you gonna bring in next? 80% of all economic development comes from the businesses that exist within a community. This is all about building those businesses stronger. It's a lot easier to help a business that's already established become better than it is to have a new one come in and get established, especially if they're not aware of what's really going on in the community. So that's, you know, from an economic development standpoint, that's our direction when it comes to it. We're not looking to move in, you know, Goshen or something, or a huge battery plant. But, you know, we also support our local governments with We work a lot with Northeast Michigan Council of Governments, Denise Klein, Doug Baum, Office of Rural Prosperity, MDARD. We are constantly working with those individual agencies to help elevate not just Iosco County, but all of Northeast Michigan as a regional partner. And yeah, we also are a member of the Northern Michigan Chamber Alliance, which really gives us a lot more access to local, to our legislators, and giving us a voice in Lansing. A lot of the issues that we face here, are actually, there is a lot on the west side of the, Northern Michigan that experiences that same type of trouble. So, I mean, joining up with them, and a stronger Northern Michigan is a better Northern Michigan when it comes to being able to have a voice in Lansing. So that's just all part of those partnerships, and we're just building partnerships, this cross sector collaboration to be able to work with it. We're not trying to overthrow your committee. We're not trying to come and bowl our way into your county. Everything that is done at Doug's lead, if he was accepted. And then we will go right on him, but whatever his, this is his community. We're just here to support what his efforts.
This is a set of collaborative tools for us, and it's a godsend because our limited resources. And so when we first started talking about this, I'm kidding, we said, staff of one is really gonna appreciate something like this. They, obviously they have a far reach. And the grant writing programs in particular is one of the biggest, killers of anybody going after a grant. There just isn't, or the cost to do it out in the marketplace. So this gives us the tools in the toolbox for the various businesses and organizations that continue to look for grant applications. Successful outcomes.
One of the other benefits is that we do is we help develop what's known as a grant calendar. A lot of this, you see that the number of like 7 million gone after and 1 million only gained, doesn't look real great, but that represents education. And then the grant calendar, a lot of these are revolving grants. So if you don't make it the first time, we learn from that. You put it on your calendar, you go after it again, you get better and better until there hasn't been a lot of, I think one of the reasons that we have gotten so many awards so far, because this area has not been selected traditionally. We keep track of it. And if you look at, Alcona Iosco, I mean, there's not a lot of awards that come this way. So that lines us up to be, favorable to get, if we have a good application, to get selected, because there hasn't been a lot of great grant opportunities in this area. I met with Eric Marvin here just a couple weeks ago from the Great Lakes Sports Commission. It was the first time he'd ever been in Iosco County. He spent 3 hours with them, showing them the ice arena and the different things that we're trying to do and what we have to offer in sporting sector, and he was very impressed. I mean, he was ashamed that it was the first time that he'd ever been to this area, but that's, we need to have a voice. We need to get those people here to see it. Not to make it blow up and turn into Traverse City. I'm with you, I don't even have to ask. I know that's already, no, right? Everybody's that way. We're going to stay way down in Iosco, but it's really, if we don't want, we know what we don't want, but we really haven't developed that path of how do we get to where we need to be to not be there. So this is all part of that.
One of those tools we talked about was a grant calendar. One of the biggest pitfalls around here is when people don't know what they don't know. Right? So having a tool like that whereby right in front of you, you're not seeking it out and trying to catch an email here or there. It's going to be out there. So they have lots of sort of proven tools.
So you developed a business specific type grant calendar, or?
It depends on what we do is we work with whatever business and whatever, what they qualify for. Like nonprofits have a lot more that they qualify for than a for-profit business. So right now, Target Alpena just released today their grant funding for small businesses, and we were able to line up businesses before the release of that so that they're ready. And then if there was a business here in Alcona County that would like to, we would be able to offer that to them. This is still tentative. We haven't gained these dollars. This is, we're in favor of getting these. We do work very closely with the Office of Rural Prosperity. Today, I don't know if this is something we could do, but we would like to see a resolution of support from the Board of Commissioners and the committee that shows that everybody's on board and understands that, you know, this isn't gonna cost anything at all, at Alcona County, it's a free service that we're paid for under this grant. The matching dollars will come from our membership, but any new member that comes from Alcona will just count against that, that's all we use it
What's a
for.
business membership cost?
Depends on the size of the business, it goes anywhere from a small business up to $500, and then up to like Coletta would be $500 for larger, so. It goes by
Government
amount.
entities,
Say again?
government entities?
Governmental entities, would be either $1 per resident is what we charge, so. I mean, depending, so they are the bulk of our, and again, I should go back, like, we don't have a huge office, I'm an office of one as well, I'm the executive director and I have my board. I don't have staff, so it's just me, I'm also a township supervisor, so I can understand local government on how, and the integral workings of that. Oh, yeah, it would be $1 per resident, and then that's, we give them, and then we also, it sets up the network, like, if there's something coming along, well, like the Michigan grant that's coming, I do believe it was actually released yesterday, that's $50,000 for housing readiness, as a housing readiness grant, and the local municipalities can apply for that to update their master plan, their zoning. And Northeast Michigan Council of Governments is on it, there's millions of dollars, if you're not redevelopment ready, you can apply for a $50,000 grant. Heather Runyon, this has been the one that's been really taking it on, but those grants, I mean, regardless, so I mean, we need to get that word out, because that's a big part of tackling the housing issue in rural Michigan, is making sure that our master plans and our zoning are ready to take on development. Nothing worse than getting a developer in there and saying, all right, you know, we've got the money, and then, oh, we gotta change, you know, text amendment or whatever, and we have to go through public hearing just to be able to get something. So it's always, you know, site ready at this point. There's so many other communities that are just ready to go that we, you know, it's hard for us to compete unless we're all on the same page and everybody's ready to go.
What's the time frame when you gotta get this in?
The October 7th, we'll be submitting the L1. So
We need to do this today.
if possible, that would be ideal.
I think, I'm not gonna speak for it, but I tend to think Kevin would be fine, you'd be all out for this, I think that's.
Yeah.
We could do a resolution today to.
I mean, some sort of, I mean, if it's too much to draft a resolution, even some sort of,
We could do a motion, I'd make a motion that we,
you know, if I could just let's go with it, that would be excellent.
yeah, well, I'm trying to think what it would be, because we're only being mentioned in your grant application, we're not gonna be a signer, are we?
You won't, but we won't, like, if we don't have, like, my board doesn't wanna move forward unless they have something that says to them that you're on board.
Yes, for his board.
It's mainly for our board, we're gonna submit it with it that, you know, the office, to the Office of Rural Prosperity, that we're not just running into, you're aware of what's going on and in support of what.
So the letter.
A letter of support would be great.
Here's a suggestion.
Yeah.
If you have one you can craft, we'll make sure that, I guess, Adam, you would sign that. The letter.
Yeah, we can make a motion today to allow me
And I will
to sign
sign,
the
I
letter
will
of
sign.
support.
another
Okay,
one
I can do that.
from EDC.
Yeah, I can absolutely do that.
And if you find out between now and, 2 weeks from now, that you need something more robust, grab
Well,
that,
with
and then
the-
we'll vote on it next.
So if we could do that, just because if we get invited, so the letter of intent, you know, it's just it's an invitation for the full grant. So I'll be back if we get accepted, and then
Okay.
that's when I would ask.
Well, I'm just saying for this.
For this one, no, we won't,
Okay.
the letter of support will be,
Okay.
most minutes will be more than another.
So I'd make a motion that we draft a letter of support for the chair to sign in support of the,
And the
development by ASCO and the EDC.
Who seconded, questions, comments, concerns?
Just a quick question. This childcare coalition.
So the Child Care Coalition, we set up, we were a regional lead on that, it was 16, so you do have a Child Care Coalition here in Alcona, and I've sparsely been a part of it, but we just finished up our early child care innovation grant of, it's $268,000 in the end of August, and with that, what it started as just as a regional assessment. We're in a childcare desert, we have more children waiting for a slot than we have slots available. So the innovation report is also available on our website if you'd like to review it. towards the end of that, we finished our grant early. Gloria Brooks, our president, is an absolute rock star when it comes to nonprofits. She's been a nonprofit, hospice for her entire career. She's an incredibly intelligent woman that's brought us a very long way in a very short period of time. At the end of that childcare innovation, we were able to identify what the need is. In Alcona, the Quad County Child Care Coalition was Aranac, Iosco, Ogama, and Alcona counties. So that was the Quad County Child, so we were included in that study. We identified not only what the issues are, but plausible solutions. And one of the most resonating, two of them were the creation of a management services organization to service back office needs of a child care business. Accounting, tax preparation, crisis management, enrollment, support, things that, what we found out, and we did a
Burdensome state.
right, yeah, we did a feasibility study. It was very expensive, a $75,000 feasibility study that actually spanned the entire state of Michigan to find out what the childcare providers need to be successful. And that's what we found out, is that they're incredibly good at taking care of children, but on the business end of things, it just gets swamped. Every 4 years, 50% of the childcare businesses that open close their doors within a 4-year period, because they just can't make it. It's just too hard. The margins in childcare are less than 1% profit. And it's extremely difficult to get into and to be profitable. I think a lot of mothers, it's a female driven industry. A lot of mothers, they have children, can't afford to work, can't find, they open up their doors and become a childcare. So this management services organization, it has been attempted by the state of Michigan. This is the first time that it will be attempted by a nonprofit organization. We'll do it a la carte, whatever a business needs, we'll consult with them, talk to them, like, I need X, Y, Z of these 3 services, and then we'll produce those from a nonprofit, not looking to get money. So it's where we've done the feasibility study, we're actually moving forward with the entity formation. So it's gonna be, it takes up to 9 months to get the 501c3 status, but we have partners from West Michigan, Northwest Michigan, Northeast Michigan. So we're moving ahead on that quite quickly. It's caught the ear of a lot of state legislators and state agencies. Holy cow, this is a great thing. It's innovation coming right out of Northeast Michigan. We're moving ahead on that. It could be a big thing. It could also, we're not trying to make childcare any less, any more, I guess, less expensive, because childcare is expensive and it should be. And when you have a 1% profit margin and people are, in that industry, it's like, how can we make it any cheaper than taking care of it? We need to figure out how to make that business more profitable so that more people are more attracted to get into it and do that. So that's the goal of this. The other piece of that is advocacy. Childcare owners just don't have a lot of a big voice in Lansing. Well, Lansing understands that it is an issue. They just don't have the tools or the capacity to figure out the solutions. So that advocacy and the MSO being at the table and Lansing is a big part of fixing the childcare issues. Housing is, right close compiled with that. We've, it's not on there, but recently we've joined the Office of Rural Prosperity's rural network. I lead that, and housing is our focus. So we struggle. I don't believe that you have a land bank here in Alcona. Iosco, we're in the same boat. We were speaking with Doug Baum on an innovative approach to actually have the multi-county land bank. It's in the very beginning stages. I've talked to Jim Tischler from the State Land Bank Authority, and he's on board with it as well. We have a ton of properties that are locked up in Lakewood Shores area that just, 200 properties that are owned by the state. Those revenue dollars that go over the state, we're missing out on it. And so this regional approach would be it's always capacity. Everybody that's working to make our area better, and I know I can speak specifically, Iosco County, we're maxed. We can't take on another thing without, if we try to make everything work, we'll fail at everything. So we hit that max, and now we're just trying to figure out ways to branch out. The more of us working together towards the common goals, more likely we are to achieve that.
One of the others, things I serve on have been mentioning childcare quite a bit, and also that, this land bank thing is definitely on their radar, and we'll be moving forward with it.
Yeah, I'm the secretary to the CDC there at MCOG as well, so I'm very active in many different levels.
You work with Tammy Klein?
I do, yeah, I've known Tammy, well, I did not Tammy, because she served on here on Shores Regional Utility Authority as superintendent from so then I now work with her, I do really check in, or weekly, monthly check-ins, I'm sorry, with her and Joe Carr, and Barry Alpina, specifically.
Right, that's the other thing, so we've also been speaking of that. So, Mary, Greg, and small business outreach. So, as Chris said, and all of it's gonna take a lot of people, a lot of organizations to start to get these things off the ground. But if we don't start with something, we won't get anywhere, so. Usually fortunate, I think Chris, because we've been moving this around for 6 or 8 months about how we can work together. And so this is really the first step for us.
Very well.
Okay. I barely had votes on David.
Sorry, folks.
Then,
Letter of support.
yep. You just trying to think about new roll call or just a regular?
You don't need one.
All right, just, all those in favor,
Aye.
all those opposed, motion carries.
Thank you for your time, really
So you
appreciate
should
it.
get that to me.
Okay, next up, garbage.
Okay, we received a total of 3. It will probably require 2 motions after I open them for you to accept the bids, and then one, how you, want to accept and approve one of them. Because I believe the sheriff had somewhat of an interest as well for. Okay. The first one is from Laney Sutherland. His bid is $3,100. There was a minimum bid of $2,500. Oh, 3110, thank you. Cheryl just noticed that's $3,110. The second one is from Alan Gill, and his bid is $4,125. Third one, Bill Thompson, $2,850.
They're supposed to, go through this process, that was, that's what we told them. It's not back now.
So your low bid's $2,850. Second one is $3,110, and the third one's $4,125.
Make motion, we accept the bids.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed?
I'll
Well,
make a motion based on costs, that we accept the highest bid at 41.25.
moved and seconded. Yeah, and we'll help that again, so. This is the right process. Roll call, I guess.
Yax,
Yes.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes.
All right. Motion carries. Next up is the finance report. Joe, do you have to vote on anything today for moving money? we're gonna have a meeting immediately after this, to talk about. I think it should be short. The only thing that I want to, unless something else comes up, the only thing I want to talk about is scheduling for the, department head budget meetings. And get that schedule laid down so we can start that up for the 2025 budget. What do we got? Yeah, so. We're calling it for finance then, okay? Personnel,
So we have, what's our date on? You set a date, 23rd of October, at the beginning of the year.
Go. Oh, wrong month.
So it's 23rd on the October.
Yeah. It's, 23rd of October.
So we begin negotiations with, Teamsters for, that group. In addition, we did meet today with courts. And more of that. We between subject Carolyn here for that, there's some issues with, they come to finance and talk to you guys about, adjusting some wages. And it probably would be a full board.
Can you-
At the chairs.
can you do a closed session prior to the first meeting of, negotiations?
Sure.
So the 23rd, when's our next regular meeting?
16th, I guess.
And we give a strategy session pre.
As long as it's legit and make sure it is. We could have a closed session at the end of the next meeting on the what? On
16.
the 16th for union, preparing for union negotiations.
You can open a closed session for
Yeah.
negotiations.
Yep.
Strategies, yes.
That way we can have, strategies built up before they, we can speed the process along a little bit. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Let's for sure do that then. Anything else from personnel?
Equalization running well. They're almost caught, almost have all their, studies done. One more township left, if I remember right. Budget's running well. I just looked at third quarter numbers. We're now at 72% of expenditures, so that's pretty good after 75% of the year. I think we're doing all right on that. So it's going on good. Other than that, I don't have anything else there, Kevin.
Okay, thanks guys. Treasurer's report.
I'm working on, we had one default on their payment for the first round of auctions that was sold at the second round. That happened just a few days ago. There's the individual lot that sold in Timberlake for 1,600, I believe. Paid the taxes and not much more, not much other left over. We have been working on budgets and at the end of the year for the state year upcoming, I just remind all the departments to have their information of what their final reporting is to treasurer's office, so we can put that on the balance sheet so we know what to expect. In the upcoming months, because I know they're not gonna be paying out for a few weeks. We're not gonna receive those final payments. And I didn't know if you had heard anything in regards to the medical marijuana grant.
That Katie from the health
Spalding.
department
Yeah,
emailed you the,
yeah, but after that, there was a
Oh, I saw
discussion
that.
from, the director of the grant. I didn't know. I haven't heard anything back with the final reports that were submitted. We received the funding, but we don't have verification of the amounts.
Okay,
Because the amounts don't match what was sent to us from Katie.
yeah, I've been pushing Katie for the last 4 weeks to get this wrapped up. Or more than that, because I get email every day just about from state of Michigan about it. And then I saw the one come up that you said about the discrepancy or whatever they wanted to change, but I didn't follow up after that.
I just haven't heard anything. We have the money, it's held in the account. It's
Okay.
not going anywhere until we get the confirmation of what was actually reported. The FRS reports were not included with the information that we were provided with.
I'll get to the bottom of that.
Other than that, just taking in tax dollars, we have an upcoming, publication notice going out the end of the month. For publication for the 2022 taxes that are in forfeiture. And everyday business, hanging out. Loving Alphon County, having a great time. We've been busy updating and getting ready for our new, we're gonna have about 2 to 3 new treasurers, so there hasn't been a lot of commotion. I haven't heard a lot, and we won't until November, till after the election. And then it'll be, kind of crazy, but we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Clerk's report.
Tina just finished up finally the workers' comp audit that comes around every 3 years. It's pretty extensive and the reporting aspect of it, so that's completed. As I forgot to mention at the last commissioners meeting, Dave kind of mentioned it a little bit. We did have a recount on Caledonia Township supervisor positions. I can't remember off the top of my head how many ballots were hand counted, and correct, the hand count came out exactly as it came out on the tabulators. So that was nice for any public that was present to be able to witness the physical recount on the ballots, because it's often requested. Early voting will begin on October 26th through November 3rd here down in the county commissioners room. All the townships have received their schedules of the days that they will work. There has been a lot of proofing of the ballots. We received 3 different versions. Once those were complete, it's very hard to meet the state's deadlines for getting the ballots to the local township clerks to begin their processing of absent voter ballots, but they are all received now, which finally gave our office a little bit of a break, briefly, so that Tina and Trina will really able to work hands-on this past week with the budget, which was completed yesterday afternoon. So that has been sent out. All of the L4029s, I believe, have been received so far to date in my office. Copies have been provided to the treasurer and equalization department. I think we might be missing just 2 so far. The county 4029 is also completed by the equalization director. And yeah, just a lot going on. It hasn't been a lot of time for anything other than elections and how much work they are now to handle, and especially being a big one once every 4 years, it's consumed a lot. This year has flown by. All I have.
Okay. Vacations are in your packets, cruise each year, leisure. With the committee reports, we'll start with Fred.
So Parks and Rec, met last, couple weeks ago, we did our snowmobile grant. We are in the process of getting the ORV grant. Pretty confident we're gonna get that. We had a really good meeting with Paige Ferry, who's I think I brought all this up in the past, but looks really good for us to be able to get into that. Coincidentally enough, I was at agency breakfast yesterday and Rich Castle was there. And he's a member of Chris's committee, and we were talking about some real potential with 5 channels to the bridge, and I'm sure you've heard those conversations. So MDOT does not allow RVs to cross that bridge, only snowmobiles. So if we were able to get side by side from RVs to be able to cross that bridge, it would really open up a lot of trails year round for a lot of areas, Big Boom to Glenny and all the way up into Barton City. So look forward to, Rich has asked me to help with you guys and get with that, because that's pretty neat. Yeah, it's gotta happen. Hopefully it's only a matter of nothing.
I'd say be pushing it.
I mean, if you can ride, I won't be able to cross that bridge. I don't ride side by side, so, hopefully we can work together on that. DHD, Dave and I were both there. I didn't, you guys want to dig in your thought, I don't remember anything that happened. We did do a evaluation on the director and give her a raise. She's doing a great job. Been a tumultuous year with some employee difficulties and union problems, but it seems to have calmed down now and things are running well.
COVID's on the uptick.
COVID is on the uptick, as we know from one of our absent commissioners, so, yeah, it's, I have heard that going around. So I asked Doug to stay, so broadband, I'd like to do an update on, I'm sure you got, everybody got their, monthly one from Cherry Capital, and Doug, want to just give us a, overview of where we're at, what's going on, and
Sure, do you have one of the copies that?
Yeah.
I didn't bring one with me. There you go. So I guess we could just, go down from the top. There's a lot going on in the background. Without me going into the painful detail, and some of the stuff Tim's doing, I don't even have all the detail. It's pretty deep. These deep requirements are, I'm not gonna say egregious, but they're deep. And so they're just working their way through the cybersecurity requirements and those types of things in order to be able to even pre-apply. So a lot of work being dedicated to that. You can see a mention of, the merit event, the expo event.
I'm gonna bring that up as soon as you're done here.
What's that?
I'm gonna bring that up as soon as you're done here.
Cybersecurity, there's a further the event there too. He's keeping an eye on the RDOF, grants that people are holding and not doing anything with. It's a very slow process. It's slowing up the entire process, actually, at this point. But better now than later. Because if some of those territories get released, they will fall into the NTIA map. And then the funding will be there. Whole business, no news from all band. New initiatives. These application merit conference. Oh, interestingly enough, Frontier has been right on our tail. Asking for meetings and that type of thing. So while we are over across the state at this expo, there's gonna be a couple of meetings with them. Don't know exactly sure yet what they're after. But because we're proposing an open access network, I got a feeling it's something. Let's see. There's some chatter out there about the new partnership between Cashman Broadband, B&M, and Cashman Utility Contractors. Don't have a lot of detail on that right now. I'm gonna be hearing a lot when we get up to this expo, because there's gonna be a lot of meetings. The big ones policy is becoming more and more prevalent in all these discussions. I know that Craig spent some time with Jesse on that, gave him some literature, information. I don't know where it is right now with the road commission, but at least they're aware of it. That's pretty self-explanatory. Any questions? A lot going on in the background, so yeah, that's how they put it. But they're being very, very, very good and detailed every month. And it's part of the requirement of the lead process that's required by the state, and they're doing it by the letter. So we want to have a
We had talked about it, I think I made mention of it here at a board meeting, and we're gonna hit this lull time. I don't know if any of you have gotten any communication from people, what's going on, how come we don't see anything happening? So, one good answer that I come up with was, what we are dealing with now with a lot of areas that aren't developed because it wasn't done right. I don't know, I'm not gonna point any fingers. We're not gonna let that happen again. So it's taken a little more time. You said pretty clearly this is gonna happen again, where we're not.
the lead process has been conducted in that
Yeah.
area.
So that is making it last a little bit longer.
Right, and some of these providers that are dragging their feet on defaulting. Maya is giving them some room to make those decisions and make those arrangements, because we stand to do better if they clear out of the territory, because the NTIA will pick out those on the map. Once they perfect that map, there will be no other restrictions. And so everybody's sort of willing to drag their toe a little to get more into the vote before they actually final things can happen. So, it is a bit of a lull, but, it really is. It's just, Doesn't need to happen.
Yeah, it's not,
You're not seeing
it's not
trucks,
as glamorous.
trucks digging holes and things like that yet, but it's coming.
So in addition to that, I should have put it on new business, but I'd like to have you guys consider it now. So, Doug contacted me, so the Michigan Broadband Summit twenty twenty-four, is going on at Crystal Falls. I think, and he thinks also would be a great opportunity for him to be there. This will have all of the people in the industry there. Cherry Capital has agreed to pay for our registration fee, or for his registration fee.
They wanted me to come.
And they asked for his participation, so I would like, so it's a 3-day event, between registration and hotels would be about no more than $1,200. So I would like to make a motion that we don't have a line item that has any money, I don't think, agency for travel. Is that correct, or you don't know off the top of your head? I don't think there's any money in the travel, so we'll get that taken care of. I think there's money we can move, and get into there.
We'd have to look. Nobody can know that.
Nobody, well, last time I looked, I thought there was something money around there, so I would like to make a motion that we approve, sending Doug to the Michigan Broadband Summit 2024 to that's with mileage also, so paying his mileage, that is a $1,200 number.
I'll support that.
Would have supported, any more discussion? All right, we'll do a roll call.
Brady,
Yes.
Small,
Yes.
Yax,
Yes.
Johnston.
Yes. So, other than that, the agency breakfast yesterday had a really good turnout, probably had 8 people there, that's what went very well. Solar farms were a big topic. Adam, why don't you give us an update on all that?
I can and I will, actually, because I think this is straight, well, I'll let Dave say.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, I had a library board meeting and then just going through, they're working on their budgets for next year. Talked about the Hubbard Lake Community Center is coming along. I think trusses are all on right now. So we're looking at that, trying to get that built in before winter. We had District Health meeting and hope that was probably it.
Dave and I met with, the judge and the administrator of the courts, and I wanted to let you know they're drafting, they're making a draft of a proposal for a policy for the, building improvement funds, building restoration funds, and how that gets approved, how that works, because, been a lot of attention to that fund lately, and they wanna just have something in place to make a process and just kind of, it's more of a clean cut scenario. So, all right, let's talk about solar. So, of course, everybody's been hearing buzz about the big project going into Augusta Township. It's practically 1,400 acres. Several landowners are gonna have leases in place to make this happen. Boots don't hit the ground till mid to late next year, as far as I'm being told. And this is from information from the zoning administrator of Augusta Township. So they're all my boss over there. But anyway, we're having a meeting on Monday. And there's gonna be several representatives there from Ranger Power. We're gonna have Denise Klein from NEMCOG. We're gonna have all the planning commission. It's a planning commission special meeting is what it is. And at that meeting, there's going to be a presentation of this project. It's called Sapling Solar. Every time they start a new project, they give it a LLC. It's like its own little business, but, so there'll be a lot of good information happening there. I'm a little scared about the venue because that hall's not very big. We'll see how many people try to cram in. But, and I'll see about getting it online, maybe so you can watch it online. If we do have we might be able to do that. Maybe we can set that up before Monday. If we do, I'll talk to John, maybe he can help us, or you know what, I'll talk to, our administrator helper is, same at the school, state. Yeah, Mr. Suter.
Mike Suter?
Yeah, I'll see if Mike can set us up with a webcast. One thing I will say about this is that a lot of people are saying this is the first time they're hearing about this. Well, we've been talking about it since 2022 at the township level. Been in the paper a couple of times. Should have been enough buzz going around for a lot of people to know about it, besides going door to door and trying to sell solar, which is, that's not a sales pitch, but I'm just saying. the end game on this is, I think a lot of people think they can come and make an opinion to discourage the planning commission to vote no and not let this go through, which they have every right to do, but I would say this. If the state of Michigan, which this is legislation that was approved by, the governor, comes in and tells us how to do this, a lot of the things that, that Guston Township wants to keep in place to protect the citizens here will be, they don't care. This is how it's gonna be. One of the things they're asking a variance for to match the state rules is a 50-foot setback for property lines for equipment. I'm sorry, for the border of the construction, right? Well, what that also includes, and that's what the state follows. The Guston Township, they want 200 feet from property lines, period. So that's one reason they need to get a variance there. The second variance they're looking for is any equipment shouldn't exceed, the state rule is 55 decibels, and Guston Township is asking for 45 decibels. I don't know, I've heard it described as anything from a hair dryer to a, I don't know what that means. You know, if you really wanna know, go take a ride down where these farms are in central Michigan there, and see a lot of that stuff, and listen for yourselves. Long story short is that a lot of people think this is a meeting to show up and say, we don't want this, don't make it happen. Well, that ship is sailed ever since the governor said, this is happening, you don't get a choice. So either we get them, we work together and they play by our rules as much as we possibly can get it, or we let it go to the state, they come in, tell us how to do it and still expect us to run all the process. So, well, I don't vote either way, I just work for the township, so that's my thing, but I'm just saying that. And the whole 7 people are gonna see this on the internet between now and Monday. That's all I got to say. Maybe you can discourage you a little bit from coming in with your torches and pitchforks and try to, you know, upend the process, because this is happening, one way or the other. And, that's all I have, sir.
Yeah, I attended the Thunder Bay Transit Association meeting. Things are going, seem to be going well there. DEMCOG meeting, talk a lot about some of the issues that you guys have addressed already today. And going to free meal, the annual meeting is being held in Garland this year. On the 11th. And you wanna sign up, please call immediately. That's all I got.
We can ride with you.
Oh.
We can ride over with you then.
Do you think you would have to fit that into the car?
It'd be a good show to come out going to county.
Well, so, yeah, I could go. I think I
Car pulls
could
up
put-
and then 3 big guys come out of there.
Where's the food? Where's the buffet?
It would be like a clown, a bunch of clowns coming out of the car, believe me.
Better bring the flag when we go. Oh, no.
We would get pictures on that,
Yeah.
that would have to go with mine.
That was my favorite caption, or actually comment to a caption, and I don't want to say, I just want to say it anyway. Alpena News had a cover story of, the wages of, commissioners, and there was a picture of our committee, of our board sitting there, and the top comment on that was, looks like they're not missing any meals. I tried to screenshot, I probably deleted it, but I couldn't get it fast enough, so I put it on my wall of fame. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. Anyhow, I digress.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
it for committee reports.
That's all I got.
Public comment, last section, 5 minutes?
I did have something I missed.
Okay.
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Election Source will be here for the public accuracy testing. They arrive between 8 and 9 o'clock. It takes them all day long, a full almost 8 hours to test all of the different ballot styles. This is, I keep forgetting to give this to the treasurer and the judge because it's something new for me to do here. It's a 9 days of early voting, so that's tomorrow. All of the townships also have their dates and times, and that will be sent to the review for publication in next week's paper. If anybody in the public wants to attend public accuracy testing, they're able to do so.
Is there additional comments? All right, we'll adjourn the meeting till, Wednesday, October 16th with a closed session at the end. For union. Hey, Bill,
Doug,
I need you to give her a copy of whatever I signed there.
was it the bylaws?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it needs to be actually fully filled out, so there's some places that you guys have to sign on there and go, or,
Doug Travis has got to sign.
oh.
So you send me
Hey,
the
Chair.
draft letter.
Ask her if she wants it.
Whatever,
Get it signed.
And then, once it's signed, I'll scan it and send it to him, and, either you, a draft minutes locally or signed. Okay.
There's gonna be one commissioners and one building.
Fine.
And if you want, I'll go through the sins, I can do whatever I think needs to be done. I can.
Well, there's some.
Well, don't you want it on the commissioner's letterhead?
They want to.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't-
Region. Yeah.
Okay. I can, I just, whatever you send or whatever, I can cut and paste it.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get a grant for it.
Sounds good.
Oh, one other thing, wait.
Rate of getting.
Yeah.
All the county. Make that easier for everybody else.